It has been a season full of twists and turns, and it all reaches a crescendo here tonight as EA Sports so proud to welcome you to the marquee event of the NFL calendar, Super Bowl Sunday. The moment is upon us, and we've got what should be an epic one here, as it'll be the AFC champion Kansas City Chiefs taking on the NFC champions, the New York Giants.
Welcome back to episode 5 of the New York Giants rebuild, a rebuild with a purpose. Not only are we trying to win championships, create a dynasty, but we're trying to crack the 2,000-yard rush mark by a running back in a season in Madden 25. Now, we believe we have the running back to do that. He's not a 99 overall yet, but once he gets to that point, I believe it is possible. We did come 56 yards away with doing some tests in a practice franchise with Saquon Barkley, and we made Saquon Barkley mirror the running back that we have, except he was a 99 overall. So I think we are very close to doing that. But we have to win a championship first while we wait for that running back to reach the 99 overall status. So that is what this episode is all about. If you don't know me, my name is David. This is Franchise Revival. We do rebuilds here, but most importantly, we find the best running backs for you. Not best running backs, the best playbooks offensively and defensively for you to be successful in your rebuilds. It is rebuild season, everyone. We know draft is approaching, and everyone's going to start rebuilding their team once those drafts happen and we see who we have. Or even before that, we like to do the mock drafts and dream scenarios of who we can draft for our teams and get them back to glory. So that's what this is all about, right? It's like fantasy football in the off season, except for you're in control. You're in more control, right? If you like to throw, run, use a 3-4, a 4-3, the schemes, the abilities, we got you here. All right. Now let's get back into rebuilding the New York Giants and breaking that 2,000-yard barrier. Just in case you forgot or you haven't seen the last episode, if you haven't, I will put that episode in the pinned top comment. But in episode 4, for the 4th straight year, we won in the opening round of the playoffs, the wild card round, to the Falcons 22-20. It's been some really close games. You kind of play on the edge when you're built around running the ball and playing defense. So our team just couldn't get it done, but we're hoping to take the next step forward. But let's go back and review what happened when that season ended. Well, as you saw, we're coming off another first-round exit out of the playoffs. It doesn't matter how good our team is. You cannot win these close games in the wild card round. Cam Ward, QB1 of the Pro Bowl. Rashard Carter, RB2. I believe that is our fullback, but don't quote me on that. Malik Neighbors, wide receiver 4. Andrew Thomas makes the Pro Bowl. Pierman makes the Pro Bowl. Godkey makes the Pro Bowl. Thibodeau makes the Pro Bowl. Brian Burns, of course, makes the Pro Bowl. And that's it. That's it. That's the Pro Bowl. Yearly award time, Trevor Lawrence gets the MVP over Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow and Jalen Hurts. Coach of the Year, Mike Kafka. He did have a great year. I'm still very bitter about it, but we had a legendary stretch to go from 3-5. I believe we were 3-5, and then we went from 4-5, I think, and made the playoffs at 12-5, something like that, right? Great run by him. Brandon Ayuk is the offensive player of the year over Jalen Hurts. That's crazy. Defensive player of the year, Aiden Hutchinson over Brian Burns. Go fuck yourself. Offensive rookie of the year, Carl Ramsey. Aaron Wiggins, and Joe Hall, defensive rookie candidates, and they have Carl Jenkins. Okay. Looks like their young players did very well. Jalen Hurts is QB1 for the NFC over Love, Jaden Daniels, Michael Penix. Cam Ward's not even. Cam Ward is. Alright, so Jalen Hurts wasn't going to make the Pro Bowl because he's in the Super Bowl. How's Cam Ward QB1 of the Pro Bowl and he's number 6 in best QB? Bijan gets it over Rashard Carter. Brandon Ayuk, best wide receiver with Christian Watson. Puka over Neighbors. Sam Cosmi is the best offensive lineman. Best defensive lineman, Aiden Hutchinson. Best linebacker, Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau. DeMarcus Evans is the best defensive back. Seahawks got some nice guys there. Best kicker, Riley Patterson. 2028 season recap. The Eagles lose to the Colts in the Super Bowl 30-28. Julian Blackmon is your Super Bowl MVP. As you can see, Trevor Lawrence is the MVP with Mike Kafka as the Coach of the Year. Brandon Ayuk, Offensive Player of the Year for the 49ers. Aiden Hutchinson, Defensive Player of the Year, should not be. That's an absolute ridiculous. That's ridiculous. He did not have more sacks than Brian Burns. Brian Burns got cheated. Offensive Rookie of the Year is the Cowboys QB, of course, Carl Ramsey. And Defensive Rookie of the Year for the Lions, Aaron Wiggins. Not to be confused with Andrew Wiggins, who played, NBA basketball. And we say so long to Deebo Samuels, who retires after 1 year. Try to catch the Super Bowl. Saw this team we put together. Didn't happen. He said, I'm out. All right, so we're at the resigning period here, and Brian Burns. I love you, brother, but you're regressing, so we'll give you a 1-year deal here. See if you take it. All right. Time to franchise tag you, my friend. Cool. And we're going to lose a lot of people. A lot of our offensive line. Oh, boy. All right. We should be fine. We'll be fine. So we've hit free agency, and there is a huge name. Actually, 2 there. Brock Bowers. I can't afford him. Josh Allen. Can't afford him. Good luck to whoever gets him. Landon Dickerson, I can't really afford. Goedke, I can't afford. McMillan. No. I didn't realize he was so slow. Good God. Tevin Jenkins, just forget about it. We ain't getting these guys. I will show you who we're targeting. Cameron Williams. Star development. In scheme. He's not far off from Evan Neal. We just let go. Slower. Stronger. Bigger. And then Josh Williams, we picked him up off the scrap heap last year, and we're developing him pretty nicely. So, hopefully we can bring him back. And he wants to come back. So, 75 overall, 24-year-old in scheme. Let's go. Free agency recap. Brock Bowers goes to the Steelers. Josh Allen to the Dolphins. That's crazy. Landon Dickerson to the Broncos. We lose Luke Goedke to the Cardinals. They get McMillan as well down there in Miami, and Telvin Jenkins to the Falcons. So our signings, Cameron Williams play left tackle for us, and Josh Williams, I think this guy might be a decent backup and grow into something serviceable going into the future. All right, welcome to the draft. We're at pick 24 of the first round. We love to pick in the early 20s. We just can't get out of it. We really need an offensive lineman to build up. And I'm going to go with this man here. The tight end really calling my name because I think our tight end's up to be re-signed. He's probably an awesome player, but we're gonna go with the younger guard here, 21 years old. Power scheme. Number 49 in true value. We got him at 24. Not the greatest. Wish his strength was better too, but he does have the hidden development. Has some speed to him, so hopefully he can get some strength on him. And but that's a big man there at 6'6", 341. And we need him to push around some people so we can run the ball. All right, we're going to move up from the 17th pick of the second round to the first pick of the second round. We're giving our second this year, our fourth this year, our fourth next year, and a fifth in the following year to the Vikings, and we're going to pick another offensive lineman. I believe it is Perkins, who looks phenomenal. Not as strong as I want him to be, but we'll take it. 6'6", 344. I think he can play tackle if we need him to. Number 56 in true value, but we got him at 33. Only 86 strength, but he is fast and big, and he has a hidden development. So, hey, I'm not getting the 90 strength guys, but I'm getting the athletic, huge monsters that have hidden development. So I'll take it. Nice start to the draft. All right, there's a safety on the board that looks really good, and I don't want to have him get sniped from us. So we're going right back-to-back picks. We're trading up with the Lions. We're setting our second this year, our third this year, our sixth this year, a fifth and a sixth from next year, and a seventh in a 2031 draft. So a lot of draft capital move up, a lot of spaces, but hey, we don't mess around. Kendrick Keaton, 21 years old, 6'1", 213. He's B's across the board, hybrid. The fastest safety in the draft. Number 8 in true value, we got him at 34. Hidden development, 91 speed, 88 acceleration. That's a safety right there. Let's go. All right, we're in the fourth round, and we have Cade Lacey here. He's number 2 in the 40. And usually when you have guys with elite acceleration, great agility, good change of direction, elite jumping, great speed, good strength, they're generally really good. He is 6'9". We're gonna take my man here. So number 353 in true value. We drafted him at 120. He is a hidden development, 84 speed, 91 acceleration, 73 strength. So this could be our tight end in the future. Hopefully that's a superstar and he builds up quickly. All right, well, our next pick is in the 7th round here, and we have another huge human being, Ladarius Ogletree, 6'8", 245. He also has elite acceleration, agility, good change of direction, elite jump, elite speed, great strength. Probably low overall, but he's probably got a superstar development of some sort. All right, well, we're getting booed for this man who's like, he's 363 in true value. The other guy was 360. This guy's 366. The other guy was 363. And we got booze on this one. Hidden development, 88 speed, 90 acceleration, 74 strength. So I don't know what these guys are talking about, but F off. Looking at the draft recap, Jerry Flemings is a 74 overall star development. Brandon Perkins, 73 overall star development. Kendrick Keaton, unfortunately, he is a star development as well. Cade Lacey, star development. And Ladarius Ogletree is a superstar, but he's 61 overall. So that's just some fun stuff there. I was hoping we could do a little bit better. Looking for the number 1 player in the draft. That was a corner at number 2 overall, followed by another corner at number 7. and another corner at number 9. So some pretty good players there. Brandon Bolden, one of the best corners in the draft, went to round 2, number 27. So all corners, pretty much. I mean, ridiculous how many corners. Round 1 went to the Lions. Round 2 went to the Raiders. They just keep getting better. We did follow them up with Kendrick Heat, not too far off. Dennis Whitfield. Oh yeah, I want to check out that tight end. Where's that tight end? Where was he at? Yeah, dude, 83 speed. No. Round 4, Marcus Clark, another corner. I see a lot of Bills in these drafts, dude. Power back, Terrell Royal. Okay. Anthony Molinaro, tight end, another tight end. And then 7th round was Dion Hitchcock, right end. So drafts. Too many freaking corners. Like, unbelievable. Welcome to the 2029 season. We are 89s across the board. Let's just get right into this. You know most of the team, so we'll go over some of the new players here. We are missing a bunch of players for the first game of the season. Felix Smith's out for 2 weeks. Backup Alex Stevenson, missing him. The 6'6 safety Eric Gentry really hasn't developed into anything. He's out for this game. And a corner we drafted a couple years ago, he is out for 2 weeks with a broken finger. So the Felix injury hurts the most. So that's going to be a hit to our defense. As far as the roster, the depth chart. If you don't know most of this team, go back and check the other episodes. I'll have the last episode pinned in the top comment. Cam Ward, he's up to a 93. Now, this is who we're going to be talking about. Rashard Carter. He's an X Factor, 92 overall, and he has Wrecking Ball on him. Probably one of the best X Factors to have on the back in this playbook. If you're watching this video, you're lucky because I haven't put out a video yet on the abilities, and that's my next video. And Wrecking Ball, I think, happens to be the most important X Factor for a running back to try and break 2,000 yards. I made a post where I gave Saquon Barkley pretty much the stats, but of course a 99 overall player. Try to make him as close to Rashard Carter as possible, and he had like 1,944 yards. So getting close there. Don't need to look at a fullback. Neighbors, good running backs there, or wide receivers. Kay Lacey and Ladarius Ogletree, some big human beings. Ogletree is a superstar, I believe. Rookie, low overall, but we're trying to build him up. Cameron Williams, we brought in on a 2-year deal. The rookie, Jerry Flemings, star development. He is our starting left guard. I mean, look at the weight of this team. 335. We got the Eagles going on here. 341. Our center's even big. He's 6'4", 314. Roger Peralta, 6'5", 334. And Andrew Thomas, probably his last year. So we got the rookie we're building up, who's 6'6", 344 to replace him. But I think I've noticed that having a strong right side of this line actually is pretty good for production. So that's where my best two guard and tackle are. Tyler Williams, Dexter Lawrence. We're missing our nose tackle. So we have this Keenan Dobbins, who's 6'3", 394 pounds playing there. He's only 69 overall, but he's in scheme, 94 strength. I mean, he's almost 400 pounds. Thibodeau, Mondon, and Abdul Harrison. I mean, if anything, we need some overall in our linebackers, but we got speed, so that's one thing there. Brian Burns could be his last year, depending how cap goes. Drew Phillips, Deontay Banks, Tevin Coleman. Our corners, George McAllister now is the starting free safety with the he's not a rookie anymore, but Daquan Barksdale is backing him up. And then we have Tyler Newman, who's starting to slow down here, but he is our sub linebacker as well, which puts Kendrick Keaton, the rookie, to take his spot. And Coleman's kind of let's get Coleman out of there. That's pretty much it. Another thing I want to talk about here. Our coaching staff. In case you don't know, West Coast Power Run, Disguise 3-4. I use Disguise 3-4 because this is a multiple 3-4 playbook. Like, it doesn't have a scheme to it. So I use Disguise 3-4. I like it. Our team's almost at 100%. This offense coordinator is his first year here. I don't bring the coaches in based off their scheme. I look at their trees and how they can help us. Now, before I had a power run, which gave more strength to the running back, but this time I went outside running. Look, you get run block power from your wide receivers, stamina, which is very important to your halfback, acceleration, change of direction, agility, and speed. That's huge. And then we got offensive line guru building the run block power and finesse of our offensive line and strength. That'll help. And then look, this season even has quick throws, stamina, more stamina for my halfback, wide receivers, and tight ends. Awareness from my halfback and tight end. I'm gonna get short route on my halfback and tight ends. Catching traffic, catching. I mean, that's one thing is we don't have a really good third down back, and that'll help our starting running back boost his third down back prowess. So there you go. Let's get into it. Let's advance the first game like we always do. Let's see if we can get this dub. Meant to mention we did train to stop the short ball in defense and to run inside. And looks like we got the win. Check out the game. 33-17. Cam Ward's developing real nice. 312 yards, 2 passing touchdowns. Rashard Carter. He doesn't have the right abilities yet, but that's poop. Malik Neighbors 7 for 145 and 2. Definitely worth the contract of like $40 million a year. Tyliak Williams, Dexter Lawrence, and the backup man, Michael Abrams, getting a sack. 3 interceptions for George McAllister, Tevin Coleman, and Drew Phillips. Yeah, I like to see our interception numbers get up. They weren't great the last 2 years, but we were sacking a lot of guys here. So great start to the season. Let's keep it going. We're at the midway point of the season. 8 games in, 7-1. We haven't lost since week 2. Still 89s across the board. 2nd in points, 10th in passing, 3rd in rushing, 1st in points against, 10th in pass yards against, 1st in rush yards against. What a season we're having so far. We got some big contracts we need to talk about. What do we do with Cam Ward? He's a 92 overall star, 27, entering the prime of his career. And we'll get some back end of that career as well. We got Dave Turner, Tracy Adams, both up for negotiations. Honestly, I don't think we can keep him because our team's not built on passing the ball. Now, Pyramid is something I definitely want to sign. His contract was really good. It's now gone up, but that's a pretty good contract, and I'm going to give him 7 years. Please take it. Good. All right. When they start getting into the 20s, it's like, we still got Brian Burns here. Yeah. You might get franchise tag, or we might be trying to replace him. Andrew Thomas is definitely gone. Felix Smith. I want to keep him. Can we keep him? Let's see. We're going 7 years. Yeah. He's part of this defense. Big run stopper. We're keeping him. As far as backups, we got a tight end. We got to worry about. Let's see what we can get for him, because the tight end's really not. I don't know. We'll see how Mike Harris does, but I'm not thinking about keeping him. Really nice deal here for a backup center. 7 years. 7 years. Backup left tackle, I should say. He's in scheme. Bringing him in. Espinosa. This one's tough. We'll see where we're at. Brian Books. Some of these backups I don't think I really want to deal with right now. Tevin Coleman, he needs to be re-signed at some point. Let's take a look at what these guys want. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. We got to see what we're going to do with Cam Ward. He wants 4 years, 53 a year on average. It's kind of not bad. But I don't want to give him a deal because he's playing so well. I really feel like players play really nice when they're in their contract year. Tell me if you noticed that, because I've definitely noticed that. And then, like, as soon as you sign them in the year, and that during that contract year, they slow down a little bit in production. It's just tinfoil hat theory, but I've seen it. All right, took a sip of my coffee. We're still going here. All right, let's look at the stats. Then you can tell me in the comments whether or not you think I should give Cam Ward a deal before the season's over. 2,100 yards passing, 18 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He's throwing 264 a game. Last year I think he threw 234 a game. He wants that contract. You got Rashard Carter, 4.4 yards a carry, 627 yards rushing, 9 rushing touchdowns. He's creeping. He's got 18 broken tackles. Receiving, Malik Neighbors, 47 receptions for 880 yards, 11 touchdowns. And he's just absolutely bitching all the time about, I'm not getting enough catches. That's the dumbest thing. I can understand a player complaining they want, this is a dumb thing in the game. I can understand a player complaining that they want more receptions. That's a fine scenario, but putting the rushing aspect in it, it's fucking stupid. Change that. It's hardly any playbook has enough rushing attempts for a wide receiver. Is the Niners the only one really? Get out of here with that bullshit. You gotta change that. Looking at the sacks, Dexter Lawrence 7.5, Tyleak Williams 7. Brian Burns doesn't want to be here. He can't do it on the tag. He's crumbling. Tyler Nubin with 3 interceptions, of course. Someone I kind of want to move on from has 3 interceptions, leading our team. But Sexy Dexty and Tyleak Williams. Let's keep that defensive line going. Thibodeau, he needs to get a dev increase, man. Bullshit. All right, well, are you with me in thinking that Cam Ward needs to wait till the end of the season to see we're going to put that kind of money into him? Because, again, everything's built around the defense and the running back. The running back's doing real nice, and he's only going to get better. So, Brian Burns is definitely out of here, and we are focus scouting a lot of players in the coming draft on the defensive line, outside linebacker. So, our plan is to replace Brian Burns with somebody. But we got power rushers, speed rushers. We got guys we can go after. We'll hit on some guys. Pause. All right, well, you can't lose in the first round if you don't have a game in the first round, and that is next level thinking. We went 15-2, a 91 overall team, 92 offense, 91 defense. We got the first round bye, solving all of our wild card round woes. We are first in points, 14th in pass yards, but we're second in rush yards, first in points against, sixth in pass yards against, second in rush yards against. Come on, what happened with our defense here? The one thing I'm worried about is losing our coordinators, which suck. Um, so I did give Cam Ward a contract in Week 18. I thought he played well enough for it. He's only going to get better. I did not give the wide receivers any contracts. We could fit one of them, but maybe we'll revisit that at the end of the year. Crushed our division. The NFC West got the 3 teams into the playoffs. We are cooking, man. We absolutely ran through the NFC. Let's look at the schedule. 2 games we lost all year. We were on heck of a run. We did lose against the Seahawks, and then Cam Moore did get his contract in Week 18, and we won 27-19. Didn't like seeing this. Would have, liked the 1-loss season, but hey, man, this is a huge jump for us. Look at the stats. Offensively, we are first in yards. Rush yards, only the Ravens beat us up. That's because they have a little bit of a cheat code with Mr. What the hell's his name? Lamar Jackson. Pass touchdowns, 35. Rush touchdowns. We need to get better there. 23. I'd like to see more, but second in first downs. First downs, big key to having a really good team. Only the Rams and the Chiefs were better. Well, only the Chiefs were better. The Rams are pretty good. Browns, 304, and they're 8-9. Saints 8-9. Sacks. Let's look at the sack totals. That's what we're all interested in. The Vikings had 58, and we were down to 42 and 11 interceptions. I will show you why I think we went down in sacks, but I think it made our team better. Cam Ward, 4,200 yards passing, 35 passing touchdowns, and only 4 interceptions. A QB rating of 121. He was passing 247 yards a game. Did take too many sacks. Rashard Carter, you love to see the attempts. 302, 1,300 yards rushing, 4.4 yards carry, 15 rushing touchdowns, almost 80 yards a game, 58 broken tackles. League neighbors, 91 catches, 1,400 yards, 20 receiving touchdowns. Tracy Adams, 76 receptions, 883 yards, and 7 receiving touchdowns. He did miss a game, so he probably would have went over 900 yards. Defensively, Dexter Lawrence, 14.5 sacks. Tyleak Williams, 13 sacks. Why do you have 13 sacks? And Brian Burns only had 3.5? Because Tyleak Williams was one of our rush ends. They moved him out there. He's a 91. He was at the time I looked 91 overall. Way better than Brian Burns. So it was him and Thibodeau and Tyleak Williams. It's one of those moves. The CPU did it and it was working. So I'm not going to mess with it. Tyler Newman, 3 interceptions. George McAllister, 2. Mondon with 2 interceptions, no sacks. Our leader in tackles, Newman. We need more tackles for sure. Let's go back and look at how we stacked up with the rest of the league. Jordan Love led the league in passing yards, 4,800. Passing touchdowns with the Trevor Lawrence, followed by Joe Burrow and Jordan Love and Brock Purdy. Rushing. Oh, man, we just missed out to Kenneth Walker. We're going to catch you, bud. Lamar Jackson, leader in touchdowns. You got to be kidding me. But we are one of the best running backs at scoring touchdowns. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 116 receptions. Jaden Reed, Jamar Chase, Puka, Drake London, all with over 100 catches. Puka led the league in receiving yards, and Malik Neighbors led the league in touchdowns, followed by DJ Moore, Rashee Rice, and Justin Jefferson. Defensively, Edrin Cooper, leader in tackles. He is a superstar. Good to see a guy with a development lead the league in tackles. Michael Parsons led the league in tackles for loss. Jack Sawyer led the league in sacks. 25.5 X factor. Relentless recuperation, Bogo, and Ripper. There's that Ripper again. He's that 3-4. He's at 4-3 DN in a 3-4 spot. That's the key right there. Stingley and DeMarcus Evans led the league in interceptions. Does Evans have? Nope. Evans does not have a development. All right. Well, that's the stats, baby. Let's get to the next round. I don't think there's anything else we need to talk about. Let's get to the next round and let's capitalize on this run we're having. All right. Well, here we are in the division round, the second round of the playoffs. And we are taking on the Los Angeles Rams, who we beat 33-17 at the beginning of the season. Their quarterback threw for like 341 yards, but also 3 interceptions. They're 9-8. They're only 6th in pass yards. A lot of grays the rest of the way there in the rankings, but you know how Madden likes to treat these 9-8, 8-9 teams in the playoffs. They love the upset. They love just to, I don't know, make things interesting. Looking at the playoff bracket in the first round, the Bengals beat the shit out of the Bills. The Chiefs are back in the playoffs. They beat their division opponent, the Raiders, 28-10. The Battle of Florida down there, you got the Dolphins beating the Jaguars. Side, you got the number 2 seed Falcons going down to the number 7 seed LA Rams. And that's who we're taking on. The Seahawks beat the Buccaneers, and the Vikings beat the 49ers. So some really good matchups here. I want to see what happened in this game with the Rams. We know how good the Rams offense is. Paul Rivers, 362 yards, 3 touchdowns. And Puka, 10 catches for 190 yards and 3 touchdowns. So we got to stop him, and we have a problem with that too. We're missing a corner. So that's not good. We're missing Deontay Banks. We should be able to get him back for the Super Bowl. Should we make it that far? But that hurts. So what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do about this? Well, we're not gonna let. We got Coleman in there now. Drew Phillips has 99 man coverage. Coleman's bigger and way faster. You know what? I'm gonna ride with Coleman in there. It is what it is. We made it this far. Let's take a look at the Rams stats. But we pretty much know, what it do. Paul Rivers, 2-year man, 4,400 yards passing, 32 passing touchdowns, 15 interceptions. Not as much as you would think. Kyron Williams, not even 1,000 yards, 7 rushing touchdowns. Puka, 110 catches, 1,500 yards, and 13 touchdowns. Wan'Dale Robinson, that's a lot of catches for a tight end in this scheme. Eric Springs, 74 catches, 701 yards, and 5 touchdowns. And Jalen McMillan, who did miss 2 games, had 57 catches for 667 yards and 7 touchdowns. Defensively, in real life, I really like the Rams. They ever get their offense to be younger, like their defense, they should eventually put it all together. But they're probably going to need to find another quarterback pretty soon. Brandon Fisk led the team in 13.5 sacks. Jared Verse, 8 sacks. And, yeah, a little low on the interceptions for them. But there you go. We got a match made. I mean, the Rams are tough. You know, it's a good playbook. So, but we have a much better team. So let's advance together and see if we're going to the NFC Championship game. And we are. They had no chance. 31-7. Made that way more dramatic than I need to. But, you know, you got to respect your opponent. That's 2 times this year we've kicked their ass. Cam Ward, 297 yards, 2 passing touchdowns. They kept Raheem Fisher. Wait. Shit. Raheem Fisher's on our starter. What happened to Rasheed Carter? Only 4 carries. Down in the backup. That's the third. That's our third running back, I think. What are you guys doing here? Tracy Adams. 14 catches, 130 yards. Do we have to keep this man? Is he going to be our playoff hero? We will keep you if you have a big playoff, sir. Kayvon Thibodeau, 4 sacks, coming up in a huge way. Tyleak Williams got a sack. Barksdale and Lamar Parker combined for a half a sack. That's crazy. Drew Phillips and Kendrick Keaton both with interceptions. So the defense, it's been carrying us this whole time. Offense just needed to do what they needed to do. And we did get a weekly award. It's Kayvon Thibodeau. Let's go. All right. Well, we got a matchup against the Vikings, and we're still home. So let's do some processing here. Oh, no. Didn't see this. That's my dog. We lost Rashard Carter for the playoffs. Broken ankle. You gotta be kidding me. Alright, it's time to advance to see if we can make the Super Bowl. But before we do, let's talk about some things. The Vikings are 10-7. Not the highest of overall, but their defense has played pretty nicely. We did make a move ourselves. We brought in a receiving back. We'll talk about him. That's the one thing that we really needed. And we brought in Michael Richards out of Oregon State. Got some speed. Not great in the strength, but we were really hurting at receiving back with Fisher going down. Or why do I keep saying Fisher? I'm getting confused. With Rashard Carter going down. So we were left hanging, and we needed to shore up that position. Let's take a look at the Vikings roster. Vikings are led by J.J. McCarthy. He's a 90 overall with running back Damian Martinez. He's 6 foot, 232. Definitely a power back with that. He's got Chris Johnson backing him up, but he's not very good. Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Isaiah Bond, and Dwayne Westbrook. They got a really nice wide receiver core. I mean, even Keenan Richards is nice. Tight end T.J. Hawkinson still. With Luke Murphy out of Alabama, an X Factor. Dear Lord. And Ben Sinnott. Okay. Yeah, Darrisaw. Jordan Meredith. Michael Parks. Miles Frazier. Josh Peoples. I mean, their offensive line's kind of decent. Chris Wilkins. Jack Sawyer, yeah, I mean, the guy led the league in freaking sacks. The 4-3 DN in the 3-4 DN spot. That's tough. Cam Jackson's their nose tackle. Big space eater, but low overall. Terrence Potter. Ivan Pace Jr. and Brett Covington are the middle linebackers. Dallas Turner, he's a freak. Tyreek Rivers, Enos Rakestraw, and Marlon Humphrey. Yeah, their cornerback room's a little sus. Kevin Winston Jr. with a revenge game. Yikes. Uh-oh. And Deshaun Elliott, he's slow as dirt. All right, well, that's their lineup. Let's take a look at their stats from the year. For the year, J.J. McCarthy threw 4,100 yards, 32 passing touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Rushing-wise, Ollie Gordon played 11 games, 4 yards carry. Looks like they lost Damian Martinez, or he's now the starter. I don't know. But either way, not good. Yeah, I guess he was the starter, Ollie Gordon. Justin Jefferson, 98 catches, 1,400 yards, and 16 touchdowns. Jordan Addison, 88 catches, 1,000 yards, 3 touchdowns. Other than that, kind of so-so. As we mentioned before, the sack leader, Jack Sawyer, that's crazy. Dallas Turner, 10.5. Chris Wilkins, 8. Marquez Fuller, 7.5. And Rashad Bingham led their team in interceptions. 5'9", 220, safety at LSU. So there you go. There's the team. There's the squad. We're down our best player, our heart and soul, on offense. That is, I would beg to differ that Tyleak Williams might be our best player this year. Pulling a Jalen Carter for sure. All right, let's advance and see if we can finally get to the Super Bowl. I hate that you can't tell. And we're going to the Super Bowl, baby. Crush them 35-14. We don't need our running game in the playoffs. Cam Ward, 188 yards throwing, 3 passing touchdowns. Brian Brooks with the backup boost, 22 carries for 104 yards, 4.7 yards a carry and a touchdown. The running back we brought in scored a touchdown to get us to the Super Bowl. That's awesome. Tracy Adams carrying us. He's one of our best wide receivers this postseason. 6 catches, 44 yards, and a touchdown. And our tight end scored last game too. He's played nicely. Malik Neighbors nowhere to be found. All that bitching you're doing, dude, about catches. Brian Burns finally gets a sack. Daquan Barksdale, I believe that's 2 games in a row. He's got at least a half a sack. Tyler Newman with an interception. And we're taking on, as C4 likes to say, the cheat code Chiefs in the playoffs. Welcome back to the playoffs. What do they do in their last game? Patrick Mahomes, 282 yards passing, 3 passing touchdowns. Isaiah Pacheco, 11 carries for 110 yards and a touchdown. Patrick Mahomes had 13 carries. They have someone named Chester Bramble who had 7 receptions for 103 yards and a touchdown. Another guy named Nick Howard for 8 for 97 and 2. Xavier Worthy was 4 for 33. Loveland not doing so well there. And they have Luke Lachey. At one time thought Luke Lachey was going to be pretty good. They have Deion Walker, who that's crazy for them to have, 6'6", 348 pounds. And Nick Bolton with sacks, no interceptions. All right, well, we have our work cut out for us. Let's get to looking at... Well, there's no reason to look at the Pro Bowl roster because we're in the Super Bowl. And Cam Ward with a Player of the Week against 2 Chiefs that got Players of the Week last week. All right, well, we're at the Super Bowl. Let's talk about injuries real quick because we just got back Deontay Banks, and then after practice, strategizing, he got hurt again, so he's already out. That's awesome. Thank you very much, Madden. That's awesome. The Chiefs are 10-7. They made it as a 3 seed. They have a 91 offense and an 87 overall defense. And they have a cheat code offense, and that's scary. Whenever you have to take on Patrick Mahomes, even though this is 5 years later, it's still pretty scary. Let's take a look at the yearly awards. Finally, we're not handling this in the following season's video at the beginning. This time we made it to the Super Bowl. Jordan Love won the MVP. Coach of the Year, Mike Kafka. Let's go. NFC Awards, Malik Neighbors, again, Offensive Player of the Year. That's his award as long as he's in the slot all year. DJ Moore on the Falcons follows up with Puka and Justin Jefferson. Jack Sawyer beats out Aiden Hutchinson and Fred Warner for Defensive Players of the Year. Rookie of the Year, Marco Rivera. And Defensive Rookie of the Year, Reggie Boyd. So good on the Lions. Jordan Love is the best QB over Brock Purdy and Cam Lord. Bijan Robinson beats out Rashard Carter. You got to be kidding me. Best wide receiver, Malik Neighbors. He's a beast. Andrew Thomas, Offensive Lineman of the Year. And we're probably going to be saying bye-bye. And he just got up to superstar, that sucks. But can't afford everybody. Jack Sawyer, best defensive lineman. Micah Parsons, best linebacker. Best D, DeMarcus Evans over Devin Witherspoon and Lenore. Best kicker, Real Reichard. Dicker the kicker, number 3. Let's go. All right, let's look at this Chiefs team. All right, the Cheesy Chiefs still have a 99 overall. Patrick Mahomes still has 97 throw power. Still an absolute beast. Isaiah Pacheco, still fast. Still 80 strength. They picked up Justin Way, who someone I was thinking about drafting a couple drafts ago. Aaron Jett, that's a great name. A rookie out of Penn State. Another power back. Xavier Worthy is a 95 overall. Chester Bramble, 77 overall. He's big but super slow. Nick Howard, he's big as well. Not as slow. Oscar Barkley. Not the greatest wide receiver room for them, but it doesn't matter because it's all about the playbook. You have Colston Loveland, who's up to a 90. Not as fast as you would probably like in your tight end, but it just doesn't matter. Kingsley Sumatiata, or whatever his name is, he's up to an 87, but in real life he really sucks. Tommy Verdon, he did this year. Tommy Verdon's at 86. They got Creed Humphrey still. Trey Smith is still there. And Deontay Birmingham is a 74. So another little issue there with the tackle position. Can we take advantage of that right tackle? George Karlaftis, 88. John Nixon, whoever that is 80. Alexander Orr is a 68. Oh, are they missing? They're missing their best defensive player, I think. Leah Chanel, X Factor 95. I think Bolton's a 91. Aaron Donald out of Penn State, the white Aaron Donald, 6'4". He's probably a speed rusher or power rusher in the wrong scheme, but it's working for him. Trent McDuffie's at 99 overall. Kendall Patton, he's an 88 overall. Jerry Sneed is an 82. They got some nice corners, so that's a worry. Brian Cook, he's only 78, and Mello Staley, the rookie, is up to the 82, backed up by Karifi Leary, who's a 75 and really slow. So that's a look at their starting roster. Let's look at their team stats. All right, Patrick Mahomes threw for 4,400 yards, 33 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions. Really down season for him. Pacheco didn't go over 1,000 yards, 14 touchdowns. But Patrick Mahomes, 696 yards and 9 rushing touchdowns. Are they not the Chiefs? I bet you if they're in a different playbook, it's either the Colts or the Ravens. We got to go check that out. Receiving wise, Xavier Worthy led the team. That's crazy. Ben Turner. Oh, they're missing that guy too, aren't they? I didn't see him because they got Bramble and Howard. I don't know. I feel like they're missing somebody. Uh-oh. That's not good for them. We'll have to check the injuries too. Deion Walker, yeah. They're missing their best defensive lineman with 10 sacks, 6'6", 348. I mean, that's a crazy person right there. Wow, they're missing 2 defensive linemen. They're missing Deion Walker and Brian Marshall. 2 guys over 80. They're mixing their best left tackle in Max Dalton. And they are missing Ben Turner. So they're down. They are down. But let's get into it. Let's do this together.
EA Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League. Madden Football is the home of the Super Bowl, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Giants and the Chiefs, and it's all up next.
All right, well, we're going to do this together here. Chiefs take an opening touchdown and score, but we tie it right back up. We get a turnover. We take the lead 14-7, 21-7. Chiefs have the ball again. We get the ball back 28-7. They scored 35-14 in the fourth quarter. We got the ball bleeding down the clock 42-14. This is an absolute beatdown, 42-21. Almost 2 minutes left. They get the ball back.
Well, partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
Commissioner Roger Goodell set to present the Lombardi Trophy to the New York Giants. On top of the world, they are your Super Bowl champions.
Well, we get it done. The Chiefs get their asses blown out in another Super Bowl. This is not looking good for them. This is 3 Super Bowls, I think, in a row that they got their fucking doors blown off. Let's look at the player stats here. Cam Ward, 222 yards passing, 3 passing touchdowns, a QB rating of 146. Brian Brooks, nice little playoff hero here. 3.7 yards to carry for a touchdown. Rasheem Fisher, he got a touchdown. And Malik Neighbors with a rushing attempt. There you go, buddy. You got one in the playoffs. Cam Ward, 4 for 20. Malik Neighbors finally had a good playoffs here. 7 receptions, 111 yards, and a touchdown. Mike Harris, I think he scored in every playoff game. This playoffs, Tracy Adams, he scored in every playoffs, I believe, or at least was our best wide receiver. Sacks wise, Tyleak Williams and Kayvon Thibodeau combined. Well, they don't combine, but he's going to sack. But here's the big thing. George McAllister, the one-year player, along with the rookie Kendrick Keaton and Daquan Barksdale, all our safeties, except for Tyler Newman, all got an interception. Patrick Mahomes, he's just not. He can't do it in the Super Bowl anymore. What happened, buddy? All right, well, let's take a look at the weekly awards here. Cam Ward, Offensive Player of the Year. Offensive Player of the Year. He's the Offensive Player of the Week for the Super Bowl, along with Keaton. Let's take a look at the yearly recap to see what we got going on here. We need to find out who is the Super Bowl MVP. Cam Ward gets the Super Bowl MVP. New York Giants are 5-time Super Bowl champions. 6-time NFC champions. Mike Kafka, Coach of the Year. Great year. Another beatdown of the Chiefs. Let's take a look back at past Super Bowls. You have the Eagles losing to the Colts. Bills won 2 in a row. Some high-scoring games. And, we all know that the Chiefs got their ass kicked in 24 and 25. So there you go. We accomplished winning a Super Bowl by running the ball, playing defense. We got some guys we got to resign. That's for the next episode. So what do we have to do next? Repeat? Rinse and repeat. Our running back's getting better, and we need to try to break 2,000 yards. Can we do it? We'll find out. We got some guys, like I said, we got to resign, but we'll see you in the next episode.